I miss up watching the man that done stuff and hear the voice, and this is Gather King 9 representing for DJ Shaka Double. Don't know so take it to the world, man. They don't know so glory to words and glory to song and glory to power. Glory to the everlasting life of iration. I miss kick it. A God bless time, you know. In the morning, na 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 na. Give thanks for life. Shaka Double. Enough people to live to see this day. Give thanks for life. Remember to always pray on your way. Give thanks for life. DJ Shaka Double. Enough people to live to see this day. Give thanks for life. Shaka Double. Remember to always pray on your way. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Shaka Double playing. And the children are going to school. And the parents are going to work. Yeah. Oh, what a beautiful morning. To feel the breeze is blowing. The blue saki and the kiskadi. The 6 o'clock bees. I heard her singing out. Cause life is the greatest gift. Shaka Double bring to mankind. Some people say life hard. Shaka Double tell them so life hila. Yeah, give thanks and praise for the mighty rising. Don't give up my brother. Don't give in my sisters. Give thanks and praise every day. Shaka Double give thanks for life. Cause some people no live to see this day. Give thanks for life. DJ Shaka Double. Remember to always pray on your way. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double. Enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double. Remember to always pray on your way. Oh, what a beautiful life. I came and I've reached. Give thanks and praise for Shaka Double. Juggle big tune. Yeah. The children, they are the future. Shaka Double, don't discriminate them. More life for the youths them. Shaka Double, give thanks and praise for the babe and the suckling, yeah. Just give life, so live life. Not take life, let's cherish life. Let's unite in at this time. Shaka Double, upon the fire. Just give life, so live life. Not take life, let's cherish life. Let's unite in at this time when you see Shaka Double. Tell them, say, give thanks to life. Enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double. Remember to always pray on your way. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double. Enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double. Remember to always pray on your way. Oh, what a beautiful morning. The sun is shining, and the children are going to school, and the parents are going to work, yeah. Oh, what a beautiful morning to hear Shaka Double playing. The blue saki and the kiskadi, the 6 o'clock bees. I heard her singing out. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double. Enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double. Remember to always pray on your way. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double. Enough people no live to see this day. Can you hear the voice?
Yes, family, blessed sunrise to one and to all, blessed love. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Reasoning Uncensored. You know what I'm saying? Early in the morning, 8 to 10. That's the average time. You know what I'm saying? My name is Delroy LaRock, a.k.a. Shaka Double. You know, I just realized that. I got to put that on the screen somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, blessed sunrise and the going outs and the coming in. Greetings. Hope all is as well as it could be with you, yours, your loved ones, your family. Wherever you are in your geographical location, your street, your road, your block, your avenue, your Dart Road, your lane, your fancy PF thing, you know what I'm saying, in your hut, in your nice apartment, your mansion, your loft, or whether you're in your shelter, or whether you're homeless, whether you're in your corner, you know what I'm saying, wherever you might be, I hope that all is harmonious as it could be with you, yours, and your loved ones, depending on what your circumstances are. Welcome to Reason Uncensored. Let me just continue with some commercials and so forth. Well, the introductions of the show, and then we'll get into our reasoning in a few minutes. All right, let's go.
Wait in town and tell the people. Physical disc coming your way.
They don't know. I'm Mr. Up, watching the man that don't stuff and hear the voice, and this is Gather King 9, representing for DJ Shaka Double. Don't know, so take it to the world, man. They don't know, so glory to words and glory to song and glory to power. Glory to the everlasting life of iration. I'm Mr. Kick it. A God bless time, you know. In the morning, na 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 na. Give thanks for life. Shaka Double. Enough people to live to see this day. Give thanks for life. Remember to always pray on your way. Give thanks for life. DJ Shaka Double. Enough people to live to see this day. Give thanks for life. Shaka Double. Remember to always pray on your way. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Shaka Double playing. And the children are going to school. And the parents are going to work. Yeah. Oh, what a beautiful morning. To feel the breeze is blowing. The blue saki and the kiskadi. The 6 o'clock bees. I heard they singing out. Cause life is a greatest gift. Shaka Double bring to mankind. Some people say life hard. Shaka Double tell them so life hila. Yeah, give thanks and praise for the mighty rising. Don't give up, my brother. Don't give in, my sisters. Give thanks and praise every day. Shaka Double give thanks to life. Cause no people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, remember to always pray on your way. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double, enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, remember to always pray on your way. Oh, what a beautiful life I came and I've reached. Give thanks and praise for Shaka Double, juggle big tune. Yeah. The children, they are the future. Shaka Double, don't discriminate them. More life for the youth them. Shaka Double, give thanks and praise for the babe and the suckling, yeah. Just give life, so live life. Not take life, let's cherish life. Let's unite in at this time. Shaka Double, upon the fire. Just give life, so live life. Not take life, let's cherish life. Let's unite in at this time when you see Shaka Double. Tell them, say, give thanks to life. Cause enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, remember to always pray on your way. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double, enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, remember to always pray on your way. Oh, what a beautiful morning. The sun is shining, and the children are going to school, and the parents are going to work, yeah. Oh, what a beautiful morning to hear Shaka Double playing. The blue saki and the kiskadi, the 6 o'clock bees, I heard they singing out. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double, enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, remember to always pray on your way. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double, enough people no live to see this day. Can you hear the voice?
Yes, family, welcome forward. You know what I'm saying? Face Simon Perry. Blessed sunrise. I see you on the early check-in, you know what I'm saying? And for everybody who might be behind the scenes that, you know what I'm saying, don't necessarily feel like putting no comment in the chat, same way, blessed love and blessed sunrise to each and every one of you. Hope all is as well as it could be. And, you know, since, like, you know, as of right now, like my team song, shout out to Gather King 9, and that's a Guyanese artist. For those who don't know, you could Google his music and stuff on YouTube, and that's G-A-D, Gad, and I, separate, Gad, I, and then King. You know what I'm saying? And you should find his music on YouTube and any other platforms with the links there. But, you know, for those who know me since Musical Reasoning, you know what I'm saying, on Talk of the Town, and I've extended that brand now with Reasoning Uncensored, you know, in the morning times, definitely, you know, and it's not, I don't do it like daily as how I used to do it before, due to, I don't know, the vibes or whatever. But this morning we could do it, right? So let's give affirmation for the one press Quincy Rapport. So going on, my brother DJ Shabda. You could also find him on Talk of the Tongue Radio on Saturdays. This Saturday coming up from 7 p.m. until. Don't forget to check it in. All right, good. So the affirmation of the physical temple, meaning, giving thanks to life, saying I'm here, I'm existing, right? Sometimes it might not be the best of health or certain things. We might got little challenges, but we're here and we're doing the best that we could, right? So one of the things I like to do is do a tree touch on the human temple, because if you can't touch yourself and do certain things, and then, we're not here, then we're not here, right? So since we're present, let us give thanks for life on a tree touch, wherever you would like to do. Only thing I just do is make a disclaimer. Please do not touch yourself more than 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times on any parts of your body that might lead to certain type of sensations that might distract you from what we're talking about and what's going on, because I'm not going to be responsible for that. So let's go. All right. 1. A day. I'm here. You there? You here? Yo. A day. You there? Are you here? All right. A day. You there? Are you here? I'm here. You understand what I'm saying? Live in the flesh and living color. Blessed sunrise. I see my baby Classy B just checking in. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that on the rising got up and got to go to work and stuff like that. I got to do their thing. You know what I'm saying? And so forth. My schedule's a little different, right? But shout out to those people even that have the nighttime schedule that might be now coming in. Everybody's not on the same schedule. So you know what I'm saying? Blessed love, give thanks. Hopefully I get y'all rest. And for those who going this morning, hopefully you got enough rest. If not, I hope the vibrations of whatever you're doing is going to pull you through. So on all of that, I decided this morning, you know what happened? Let me start it off with a little joke. And I like to take, now that I'm doing it from home and on an independent platform, I like to extract information from off of social media and then apply my narrative to it. That because it's also something. This is why the music came out of the reasoning, because now it's just reasoning uncensored. So what I come and I play a video and I'm saying like, hey, let's get into this musical video and the concept of it in a certain time frame, right? Or I might say, listen, I'm going to show political clips, whatever it might be. That's kind of the direction that I am right now. And I also have some other surprises, due to the age of technology that I can also implement as far as, a bridge of how we share information and make it a little more entertaining in the sense of attention wise. So it's just not, me talking all the time, as much as informative as is. It's good to mix it up. You know what I'm saying? When you got food and you're cooking it, you got to put spices and stuff in it, right? A little seasoning and what you got to do. Because when you don't do that, it's considered bland and it ain't got no flavor. All right. So let's do a little major hype. I just want to do a little comedy this morning. Right quick, you know what I'm saying? A little introduction, shake off a little business, you know what I'm saying? And let me get into more serious things as we proceed. All right, blessed love, blessed sunrise. Let's go.
Jamaican Jesus is not playing.
Where them stupid, them, man.
Roots says she a play it for you.
Well, hurry up a little bit, man. I want to know, man. And tell John if he stop play up in the wall.
All right, my boss.
No. Yeah, man, I eat.
Jamaican Jesus.
Hey. Come on. How me reach ya, so? What you mean how you reach ya? You don't remember? Me not gonna deal with the foolishness, Remember you say you can't live like this, So me bring you come here.
Brother, me I tell you, say, me not like that work here, brother. The boss always there for my case, brother. Me can't live like this, bro.
You don't love complain too much,
Me can't live with the boss just there for my case, and that me that talk about.
Everything what happen in a food or life, you don't blame me. You can't blame the devil sometimes.
Oh my God. No, me have too much to do. Please send me back down there, please.
You say you can't go to work, me give you a hand or card, that Benz you want. You say you want a good man, me give you a woman, you tell me say, she not shape as good. She say not even me can please woman. Me give them looks, them want makeup. Me give them body, them say them want BBL.
Moses, what go? I have too much to do, please. I have too much to do. So you have a gun too?
This is a blessing gun. It's not a gun where you think it is. That's why me bless people.
Real?
Throw me off a pin pipe. You watch this.
Brother, you need me tell you some broke or nothing now. Hold on.
You see that?
Brother, Oh, thank you, Jesus. We just find our bills, you know.
I'm going to give you one more chance, and you see if you go back down there and complain another one more time.
Please. I'm not going to complain no more, I swear.
Me I said you downstairs in Lucifer.
All right.
Go on.
Oh, Tupac and Biggie there. Bob Marley.
Go on, skip.
But I love the both, you don't care what nobody say.
You know what I'm saying? Look, entertainment, you know, because it's important for us to have a perspective, have a narrative. That's part of my conversation. And I believe that that's also probably the bigger part of my conversation, why it's even called Reasoning Uncensored. Because the narrative today, if you're not careful enough to or been taught, because it is a skill to be analytical. There's another word I was trying to find. You know, like discerning is a little different, right? Or when you're using intuitive, you can have intuition. That's good. But analytical, being able to be abstract. What abstract means, and I know y'all know, but I'm just saying, this is the reference what I'm saying. For example, if you have an object or something right next to you, just put it down, or you can hold it in front of your face, or you can put it in your pocket. When you put it in your pocket, it's out of your sight. You're just taking whatever narrative. It's in my pocket. It's what they gave to you. You're just going to accept what is given to you. Now, if you can take it and look at it and then put it abstractly and then begin to analyze, then you can create now a different narrative from the one that's just given to you. It's just in your pocket, right? So even though that's like comedy, it's interesting and very important for us. Even the controversial, this is why it's Reasoning Uncensored. They have it saying the N word. It's our original when you trace it back. This is what I'm saying. Because what we do is a lot of emotional conversation. A lot of emotional conversation. Right? But the N word, nigga. And we are supposed to not be able to say this. Now, I understand experience is a serious thing. So if I grew up and I had to eat or were forced to eat a certain kind of food that I disliked every day or whatever. As in when I get older, I'm like, and it's not that I have the choice. I'm not gonna want that food. So in terms of the word being used in the time for the elders to defend, I understand their perspective in terms of the word. But for the movement and the evolution of man, and especially the African descendant, from the trauma and the things that we have experienced, it's very important to take back the narrative. However, you need to do it. At least once you can take it back and reflect it in a positive sense. And that's what we have done with that particular word. And especially if we take, once again, a different narrative. The artist KRS-One, the rapper, the poet, wrote a book on the word nigga and the subject. And it still pertains to the same kind of concept. And what he did was kind of gave a neutral, from what I recall when I read that book many years ago, perspective of the different history and origins of the word from Africa and from an African perspective before the European began to use it. For example, I always say, this is why you have to be abstract. Take it, put it in front of you. Look at it, examine it. Right? Always say, how can, and we already know from history, nothing original, and this is not no down thing. Whatever came original, we know it in these times. But as far as bringing and even the things of these times, most of it still originated. But anyway, I ain't got time for that emotional discussion. Let's get into facts and information. It's very important for us to control our narrative, as I was saying. Let me play, I'm going to get back to my thought just now. Let me play something else that's very important. Now we're going to get a little bit more deeper. This is a comedian. This is a little skit about Bernie Mac and the narrative. When you're controlling the narrative and have the time to implement your narrative so it's not distorted, to be abstract. Let's go.
Best one dead. Do we disagree?
Ever.
Best one dead.
One of my favorites.
I hope people don't get mad at me for saying ain't no coincidence the best one dead. Bernie Mac showed you who he was when they tried to put that little boy in his lap for that photo shoot for his TV show.
Actually, on the lap you're sitting. Did you wait?
No.
Abby, isn't Jeremy on the other side? Where, like, I'm gonna show you. Ow! Okay, he's actually gonna sit on your lap. No? Okay. Do we have an afterthought?
See that?
Steve Harvey blew up after that. What you saying?
I'm just letting you know. Bernie Mac, I'm gonna tell you, I never hung out with Bernie Mac. But I'm from Chicago, and I watched how Bernie Mac moved. Bernie Mac wasn't finna let them people put no little boy in his lap. I know what happens on them shows. People just be like, oh, that was just a microcosm of what Bernie Mac was. I no hoe-ass nigga that you could just get to do some sucker shit.
No, not at all.
That's why, in my opinion, he not around no more. That's why I stay away from Hollywood, man.
All right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's music recent uncensored, right? So the information is what it is. So listen, look at what was said about Bernie Mac. And they did diplomatically, they approached that clip also diplomatically in terms of speaking about Bernie Mac. Made a quick little reference about Steve Harvey. But Steve Harvey has that kid show. And I don't know if at any time any one of those kids ever sat on his lap. I'm not sure, but who knows? And what they didn't do was pull up at least a footage and a clip of Steve Harvey doing something opposite. It's left up to you to sort that narrative. Because once again, this is how things are projected. And if we are not going to be able to take control of the narrative, right? And finishing up on the word, because, you know, as he was playing that, I was playing that clip that, you know, the nigga was also said. Like I said, I'm not even going around this stuff. Y'all know this is reason uncensored. You can't take the mental gymnastics, and this is not the fitness for you. Understand me? So when you trace back even the history of that word, the origins is still more, it's based from Africa. Because you have to say to yourself, using that abstract principle and that analytical principle, what makes somebody just gonna come up with a word? So what is the meaning that the European has given you for the reason why they came up with that word? Just to select that word to say, hey, this is the offensive word I'm gonna use when I do something aggressive or insulting to you, or you know, whatever that you don't want to happen to you or with you. Right? Why is it that did they ever explain? Oh, well, you know, we came up with no, because when you go into the history of it, the trails leads back to the African dialect, and it was surrounding it. Most of it referred to a king and the status of being a king, or the reference of a man, like, you know, say, hey, what's going on, king? But in those terms, more like naga or nega. Even in Ethiopia, negus, negas, kings of kings, right? And even if the people from Ethiopia say it, when they hear me say it, they're gonna say, oh, what do you say? What did you say? And then, you're trying to say Nebusnik, and they're going to say it in a more native tongue of where that word came from. So there's a lot of words, even like, you know, when people, if you're from the Caribbean, and let's, for example, you take a African American that loves the Caribbean, and so and they like the dialect, and they say something, oh, you know, I love to wind up on you, and they're going to say it a little different Not all of them. Some people gonna master the skill, but you get where I'm going with this. So for them to take that word, it was a taking of, oh, y'all think y'all the kings. This, oh, here you go, king. Take that. And your woman too, because it was a title in reference to royalty also, and to the common man and certain things when you go back from a historical perspective. So why not take back the narrative? And even if they had an explanation for how they came up with calling us nigger, which they don't, then it would still be imperative of you to take back that narrative and at least turn it into something positive, because how are you going to walk around psychologically being just, struck by this thing and this word? So psychological warfare is very important, and it's a very serious thing when it comes to the African descendant. We have been trained to think very emotional in approaching things. I like to call it, it's the pastor effect. It's the preacher effect. And this ain't jumping on no religion business. It's just facts. So what do I mean by that? We're used to going up, gathering, sitting down. The only time that in history when we really want to sit down and do some things, because we're not sitting down collectively doing business, like how we doing it, how we collectively come together at church. And let's be reminded that's the difference with when the Judaics gather in their synagogues and the Islamics gather in their mosque, because business and certain things are discussed there. Connections are done there on a major level, not just a whole bunch of preaching, talking this and that. And then, there's some kind of class after church and this and that. And on Saturdays, no, I'm talking about on the pulpit. This is the agenda. Business, this is what's going on in the community. They're buying properties, such and such. Listen, let me tell you something. I remember when I was in the market for, and I'm gonna run a little commercial just now. When I was in the market for looking for an apartment, and I remember, I'm looking for a certain type of neighborhood and stuff, because I got my kids and stuff at that time. And the guy that's just a realtor or whatever, can't remember the name they call this, but I'm not into titles and stuff like that. I'm into the concept, get what I'm talking about. So the person that's showing me the property and so forth, this Caucasian guy. And so now he's giving me the whole history of the neighborhood, of who's bringing what business, because they were doing construction across the street, who's owning it, and what's going to happen, this and that. And we're currently, the community board in the neighborhood, we're going in court because we want such and such and this and that. We should have some bike lanes there and that. We do not, and we are not involved in no kind of way like that, even when we get into the churches. So what I'm saying, the narrative, even when it comes to politics, and I'm going to get a little bit more into it. I don't think I want to do it today, because I want to keep a separate day for that. But, because this week, for the Trump card, right? But this is what's going on. But we're going to touch on, that perspective of how do you take control of your own mind? How do you get out of this emotional, for the African descendant, this emotional way of thinking? And what I was going to get to is the Trump situation that's going on. And believe you me, I'm not going to get into it today, because like I said, I want to do that specifically on one whole day and map it out right. But the conversation we're having about Trump, the way they got us about first of all, about political parties. People want to complain and talk about the Caribbean and how, it's the politics, and it's the same thing in America. What are they doing? It's political parties. This one got this one in court, and so he went and put his son in court. Next thing you know, he's going to find something else to put Biden in court, and they're going to be, it's political warfare. Division. Different TV stations, different radios, different social media channels that adhere to the division. Right? So when we get to understand our own narrative, then we won't be that emotional about things. Let me run this quick clip and then hear what Farrakhan got to say.
Mr. Trump is an anomaly. he's someone that doesn't fit the norm. You expected a man to be like the other presidents. You wanted him to be more presidential. He's so transparent. You wanted him to put on a suit and act dignified, like the thieves and robbers that dress in suits and tell lies. You wanted him to be like that. And you're angry because he's your reflection. He's an anomaly. You can't make him what you desire him to be so that you can say, oh, that's my president. He wasn't made that way. He wasn't made that way. God has him here. What did you say, Farrakhan? Do you think that God is not interested in who is president of the United States of America? Especially when it's out of the time of evil? It's in our time now. Mr. Trump, he's like a gangster. What? Just a minute, you know. If so-and-so's, I'll bomb the you-know-what out of them. Huh? Well, then, man, this guy here. And you know what? He's real.
All right. So I was trying to pull that down from there. You know, I take these clips off from there. So whatever's on this is stuff. I ain't got time for it. But yeah, you know, see, playing that conversation, you see how Farrakhan is on point with what he's saying. But you see how that guy edited the clip, because what he was about to do, get into preacher mode and get into some emotional stuff instead of sticking to the script, start pointing out certain factual things. And like when you watch European podcasters and broadcasters and news channels, and they're going to get, this is why I was talking about the Roland Martin thing, and I ain't coming after Roland. Some I got, but listen, on this side, it ain't that, right? Because they're very specific. Even if they got a little bit of emotional, whatever in it, they're going to pinpoint certain little factual, even if the factual stuff are tainted, but it's like informative. So what it is, you got to be more able to have a certain perspective and a narrative from a certain perspective, right? Yeah, Miss Sophie got some very interesting comments in there, in the comment section. You understand what I'm saying? I want to go into another little clip, but before I do it, let me, because that one is going to be a little intense. So let me do a little musical commercial. Then I'm going to go into that clip, and then we're going to proceed with the conversation. Blessed sunrise, blessed love. Good to see y'all. Don't forget to share this thing right here. Even if you don't want to come in forward of the screen, you could also share it and let people know, look, you go on, but you ain't got to, you know what I mean? Just listen what's going on. All right? 1, 2. Listen, man, y'all got to tell me how y'all like my beat, you know, for that commercial for the Talk of the Town Radio. Don't forget, July 6th, Talk of the Town Radio, come out, show that love for that retro shindig. All right, so let's get into this. Like I said, this is one because this is why I'm saying, are we going to have emotional conversations, or are we going to get to this analytical, and are we going to be able to reason uncensoredly? Let's go.
Dr. King didn't know what he was doing, homie. He was a 25-year-old Southern Baptist preacher that had a bunch of people telling him this. Now, always remember, he wasn't popular with that belief in the beginning. They thought he was crazy. Gotcha. Fuck wrong with you, nigga? You a troublemaker. And even the old black people thought he was crazy. Why would you want to go eat at their restaurants? You know how they go do it. Yeah. They go spit in our food. Why you want to go over there, nigga? You crazy. We don't want to live next door to white people, nigga. You know white folk kill us. So they thought he was crazy. That was his dream. That wasn't for us. We wasn't supposed to be paying him no goddamn mind. That was his dream. I have a dream that one day we would hold him. He wanted to hold white folk hand. Black folks didn't want to do that. They gave us him. They picked him. So he pushed the narrative, not knowing the consequences. Toward the end of his life, he told Harold Belafonte, I think I led my people into a burning building. We shouldn't have never, we was getting hit upside our head, homie, just to sit at their counter. We don't want you in here, nigga. Why, homie? For what? So what if they don't let us in there? Nigga, we don't want, white folk can't cook no way. Nigga, who wanna go eat a white person's apple pie? Fuck that, nigga, please. That was his dream because his grandmother told him when he was a little bitty boy, he couldn't play with that white boy. That was his dream all his life. So they took his dream and made it ours, and it became a nightmare. We go take the signs down, just go out there and tell them something. Go out there and tell them. So when they invited him and 6 or 7 preachers in the Oval Office, hey man, go down. You got all these niggas up here on the mall office. God damn it, King, you said you wouldn't listen. They out here. Man, tell them we'll take the signs down. Just tell them. Just tell them we'll take the signs down. Okay, he went out there, man. They go, well, I have a dream. We got macked on and played on. He was funded. The Jews had King. So, nah, homie, it's deeper than that. So, that's the worst thing that happened to us was his dream. We should have been saying, fuck they sign. Nigga, they can keep the laws all they want to. We want equal protection under the law. We don't care about no sign that say no colors.
People magazine a while ago.
There should be some signs say no white people.
I mean, a lot of white people feel like kind of what's been happening with the whole Black Lives Movement, that has been like an inverse on them.
Well, Black Lives Matter is a gay movement. It ain't a black movement. They say they there for the LGBT rights. They don't never kick up dust for injustices in the courtroom, wrongful niggas killing niggas. So they where they at now? And it's been killing like a motherfucker. Yeah. They ain't there for Tuka mama. They ain't there for FBG Duck now mama.
All right. So you already know Reason Uncensored. You're sensitive to language and it's gonna block you from your reasoning capabilities, then hey, not the place. So moving forward, you see what's going on. I love that conversation because for a long time, and when you're around certain circles of very intellectual, educated, or revolutionary, serious Pan-African, serious about the development and the forward things from where we've come from and where we are now and what has to be done. When you talk to not the ones that paid to come on the TV and promote the legacy of King, not that. Those scholars they're not putting in your books. Those are the scholars that fought for you to have an African curriculum in the colleges when there wasn't one. So you can go now and say, yes, I want to study this and the African thing. They fought for that. Those are those underground scholars, as we will call them. And a lot of them also had that critique. He just said it in a more blunt way. It's like when people say, back in the days, a song, they used to sing Marvin Gaye, Turn Off the Lights. And then today, dudes will say, yo, get up in the crib, let me throw you on the sofa, let me put you on the table. And what is it? It's the same difference. Marvin Gaye just said, let me kiss you all over, do this and that, right? So this is why I don't mind. Long as you have an open mind, then we can reason beyond any kind of sensory points, right? So he's expressing what the scholars have said and what I had also came to that conclusion that the civil rights movement, what they call it, and then again, it's the whole word of civil. And even though they make civil being civilians and all that kind of stuff, like in reference to us, they've used that word in a very negative kind of way. Like, you know, we're here to civilize you, which is still part of civil and civilian. And like y'all uncivilized. And so we're here, you know what I'm saying? So this civil rights movement, even the wording and the terminology from a certain perspective, right, is out of whack. So I have always said it, and I said it even a few episodes ago. You know, the things that we lost and traded during that time frame, studies have shown that the African, especially in the United States of America, from those times of the 20s and, you know, 30s and 60s and all that in the 70s, we have moved backwards in progress ever since the so-called civil rights movement and the assimilation in what is called with, you know what I'm saying, the other population and ethnic groups, as they call it, right? The other families, right? The other clans, the other gangs, right? The other groups. All of those are related words. And, you know, it's important to know that we had our own transportation system, buses and all that stuff. So even to protest and sit down on a bus and say, oh, we being treated unfairly to be sitting here, when the narrative and the focus, even today, the focus is what are you doing and what is the plan for you? Because even when they did the whole Jackie Robinson thing to steal the whole athletic situation away from and we're like, oh yeah, we're getting paid more money. And then now what? They're getting paid more money, but you're gagged up, you can't do nothing. Only thing they could do is charity. You understand what I'm saying? Police would probably even kill their own brother or something. And the sports athlete would still have to come and be diplomatic about what he got to say. Because if you say certain things and this and that, you're going to lose endorsement. And then the fraternity of that organization is going to penalize and punish and fine you and all this other different kind of stuff. Which if that was an Afrocentric organization, still the same way how it was. Now we're trying to get back to there. Do you see what's happening? Now they're trying to be owners of teams and this and that, and acting like we were already in that position if you understand the history. And so the approach that they're even doing is even off of trying to buy into something that they already control and all, where the plan should be. Here is what, look at the blueprint from what was done before the civil rights movement, what happened and how you're in this position in the first place. So the solution is not just getting there and just buying another team. Fine. There's a way to start in certain ways to motivate. Fine. That's good. Good. But the vision, the narrative needs to be a little different, which is, how about some of y'all just leave and say we doing our own league? You think the people are not going to follow y'all? Y'all think we're already loving what y'all doing. You think if LeBron and a couple more of them other cats said they doing their own, I mean like extract completely, invest their funds in certain things, you got all these endorsements, make a plan for a rainy day, because you know what I'm saying? Because now you have enough. So you can say, you know what? Boom, we put this money to this book. So even if they cut off these, we're good. We're going to build our own brand now, do our own clothes, do our own, you know what I'm saying, and come up with certain things. You know what I'm saying? Cut those contracts or even maintain that. You know what I'm saying? They have like a duality, like you have dual citizenship or something. There are ways to do this thing. You cannot. I don't know the minds of who the hell are the influencers or who are the power movers and all. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all brains ain't working. Your minds and your narrative has been warped. You know what it is? It's like those that have been, like the Caribbean would be a perfect example, right? We're in Africa and so in places like that. We're even in South America, they do that to the Spanish-speaking ones too. You come and you get educated in the Americas and England, and then what happened is you come back to your country, and because you come back with the same policies, the point is for you to understand the policies. It's for you to understand the game so that when you come back to your country, you know how better to implement changes while you still playing the game, but you're doing kung fu and blocking this one till you bomb and make that move. That's why the Asians do what they do. Changing the narrative real quick right now. Changing it straight up just like that. The Asians are taking multiple trips to the moon. Right now, they just went to another side of the moon that no other country has ventured and went to yet. And they made multiple, like second trip or whatever, maybe even since the year started, if I'm not mistaken. And so one would say, well, what's the importance of this and what's going on? Depends on the conversation in which you're in and what you know. But this is what I'm talking about. As you know, the East Asian has always been very productive, making use of little and next to nothing. Once you put it in front of them, you're going to figure out a way to utilize it. Right? We know that about them. So what has been going on from a business, scientific, explorative position is that those who are very ambitious about the revolution of technology, controlling certain markets, are investing in going to outer space to retrieve rocks and minerals that they can come down here and now put under certain testing. What they have done, for example, what I'm saying is, how do you get minerals such as, the different metals? Most of them are in rocks. Just simple stuff you used to learn in school, especially those from the Caribbean and stuff, right? When you're walking and you see those gray type of rocks that used to have those sparklers and stuff in it, and you knock it and break it, you can see the sparkling off the sun. Those are the minerals, and even some of them are even magnetic, right? So part of the reason why technology has advanced, as they say today, from having these big phones, and it got smaller and smaller, but they got more expensive. Reason being is that the technology, they've found different type of metals that can now be compressed and used, that are lighter and can be compressed and used even smaller, but still durable and function than the same way as the heavier metals did when they first started in the technology. So one of the reasons, this is not the only reason they're probably out there, but one of the reasons, which is very important to realize, is that with the talk within the science is who can find like the next kind of super metal or even mineral from outer space, and who can afford to extract enough of it and bring it down here. So let's say the Chinese finds, after they'd extracted and bring back these rocks and so forth, they discovered that there's a metal in there that's lighter than anything we have on Earth. And that now we can have these super phones that's probably like the size of a maybe a thick paper or it's like of a cardboard. You know what I'm saying? And you can just hold it like and slip and slide it, and you know what I'm saying? But it just, you can slip it like a card, like literally like a card. That's the aim of where they're going to. So to find certain minerals and stuff, it's like, hey, maybe it's out in space, right? So the narrative, look at what the levels of what the Asians are trying to do to, you know what I'm saying, be a step ahead of the game. Because if they're able to go up there and get that technology and come back, then they're going to be leading and making certain things that the others can't have. And then if they claim the territory, the next thing you know, there's wars on the moon. And so therefore, this is why when I say now I'm jumping and, it paints a picture. This is why when you go even to the Ethiopian church and you go dealing with one of the oldest Bible compositions, and for those who just say, well, this is the book and nothing changes what goes in it, and nothing like that word, and there's a book, another biblical book with other books in it, and it's historically written that when the Bible was put together. So if we don't want to if that's what I'm saying, the emotionalness with the African descendant, the unwillingness to just go, they got this blinders on like a horse in battle. I can go straight ahead no matter how much bombs or whatever's blowing, because I don't have nothing to distract me, to make me think nothing else different. Blinders straight ahead. But there are books that are taken out of the Bible that we have today that was spoken of and that other cultures have preserved, such as the Ethiopian Bible. There's preserved other books such as the book of Enoch. And today, you know, you can see that information all on the YouTube and so forth and things like that, where people have posted different so much on that now. But yet still it's not in the Bible. But a mention of Enoch is in the Bible, but his book is not. And some other books. And within those books, there are interesting stories about human beings existing at a point in time where they destroyed the earth before. Destroyed parts of the moon. And so when you hear certain things, you're like, what? But can we open ourselves to certain perspective? And if you see where people are going, nuclear war, certain this, discovering minerals on the moon, looking for things on Mars and this and that, water, so that we can, is it not a possibility? Is it not? I like to remind people of the song that my brother Nancy have, we call Just Imagine, right? Because Just Imagine is not just, you know, a fun thing. Yeah, it's fun for kids, but imagination is serious in terms of prompting one's analytical abilities, critical thinking, just being able to imagine, what are the possibilities of this, that, if I did this and boom, 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 boom. Right? Yeah, that's how it goes. I want to play a little clip because I want some narrative stuff, right? Let me play a little clip of Prince talking about record companies and record labels and stuff like that. Narratives, right? Let's go.
You know, like Mariah Carey just had this big $20 million. That's like a huge deal, right? So you feeling that? No, well, what I mean, I don't understand. What the public sees the word $20 million an album. Well, let's see. Do you all think that's a good deal? Well, I mean, tell me why. I mean, what am I missing? Okay, let's do some math. Okay. If you do math like that? Yeah, kind of. If you sign me, you sign me to a record company, right, or a record deal. Let's suppose you have a record company. Right. How much would you give me? The album sells for $18, right? $18. Whatever. Yeah. All right. How much of that would you give me? Well, I don't know how it works. Well, no. Half? Half? Half sound good? Yeah. All right. Check this out. If I sell 1 million copies, I'm going to have $10 million, right? Roughly $10 million. Right. If I sell 2 million copies, I got $20 million. Right. If I just sell 3 million copies, I got $30 million. Now who has the biggest record deal? Oh, I see. Yeah, right. Okay. Right? So Mariah kind of got screwed.
So you see what I'm talking about? Narrative. And why is it that it's so glamorous if we look at the entertainers? They're given this lifestyle, but then over and over again, how many of us, and when the time comes for their passing and demise, and then you find out who didn't have this and who didn't have that, and who's paying for the funeral and who's helping to do this and that, right? Because, you know what? Let me play this other. I wonder if this is the clip from Prince I want to play. Let me play him touching on this, and then I'm gonna have my little piece to say.
The reason why it became such a big deal back then is ever since my third album, I wasn't really taking large advances from the recording companies. I was recording the albums myself in my own studio. So the way I looked at it, I owned the work because I paid for it. And I did all the work. I created it, so I felt like it should belong to me. That said, the companies felt otherwise, and they would always hold this contract up and say, well, you signed it. And I say, well, I understand that. It's not like I want to leave. I just want to, you know, talk about this thing and see if we can't make it more fair. Of course, they wouldn't change, because if they changed, they wouldn't really exist. And that's kind of the situation we're in right today. They're not going to exist much longer.
Well, it's not your game. You didn't make the rules, so everything comes hard. As long as you're signed to a contract, you're going to take a minority share of the winnings. A select few of us will do well. The majority will not. So as a people, we'll be considered a minority. But stop. let's take a moment and look at yourselves. There's nothing minor about you. You are a blessed people. You're the most talented on earth, and you are still grateful. That is why upon winning in their game, you always thank God. Tonight I would like to ask one favor of you. Imagine what we'll all be like in our own game. Peace and love for one another.
You know what? I love when the natural mystic is so natural. I didn't even realize that he ended saying imagine. Because it's active imagination. It's not just imagination for the sake that's like a kid. You just sit down and wondering, having a wandering imagination. Imagination, like I said, that leads towards the direction of analytics, a critical perspective, broadening your narrative. So long, look how long ago. I mean, it got to the point where we know there's so much conversation and footage online about the depths and reasons surrounding Michael Jackson imprints that both, even Whitney Houston. I learned something about Whitney Houston the other day. I got to do a little piece in this. You know, as much as they project, see, this is what I'm talking again, that Michael Jackson, he's the king of this, that. He has never sold her up. She broke every record, if I'm not mistaken, that he had. Went like what I call like something diamond, where did like numbers. So imagine the deal, like what Prince was saying. And they say, hey, Whitney, at that time, here goes that 20 million. Because remember, they're giving this to Mariah, which is after Whitney already came out. So if they're giving this to Mariah, you know, it has to be up probably from what Whitney was next to or close to it, for them to talk about it like it's a big thing. So imagine, look at how many Whitney sold more than Michael. Please understand, if you didn't know, I just found out too. You understand me? And for those that had already known, good for y'all. I'm new to it. Right? But look at the narrative surrounding their deaths is this whole thing about these record companies, and listen to how Prince said it. We got into their game. So if you're going to get into their game, then you got to expect what they're going to do to you. It's the same narrative what I'm talking about with the sports and the athletes not being able to express themselves or be part of no type of movement because you are tied up in that industry that you are, because those people, they're the ones that formulated that league and made those rules. And it's not hard for you to just even imagine, given the numbers and the money and what you talk about, what LeBron and this one has and this one and that one and that one, if they really, you understand what I'm saying? But I know there's people are going to say, because, you know, when I say things like that, I don't like to be general either. Yes, there are things that will have to be considered, such as, you know, your contract and how long you're in it. But then it just needs to be planned. Right? Some of you guys are retiring anyway. What a great time to get on something like that. Because buying into their team, that's what Michael did. Michael said, hey, so let's go on that perspective. Michael ended up owning at least half of Sony Records. And Sony, for those, you know what I'm saying, it's like a monopoly company. That all the other big companies that you hear about, they belong to the Sony company. Right? Then he studied the thing and he got their catalog and he went into their business. And did good, excellent, whooped them. Hey! And then now Mike is gone. And then the talks is about that. Because they wanted to get back this catalog. And what happened today? They still had got back now most of it on a certain agreement. What he did still have, remember the narrative that was going out that time? Mike is broke, this, that. And still today, in the game of what we call publishing and what he was able to establish and understood and winning, he still has the largest published company in the world. If that hasn't changed at this moment. You understand what I'm saying? Right? So what a narrative. But when you're not here and you're tied up in business the way it goes, who's going to control your wealth and stuff like that? So now then your catalog and this and that and your publishing and who, now these people, the companies, they don't have to talk to nobody really about how to use your stuff. Maybe one or two family, and then they just throwing a couple of dollars the same way they did with the artists. They just gonna get whatever they get, but they're seeing the majority and for the sweat and the blood and the tears that artist put in, the trauma they endured. Look, I went on. I've somehow just bumped into the Prince footage, and within doing that, I bumped into a rare Prince footage when he's a child, right? And somebody found it. And so what I'm saying is certain things are just in you. Let's go.
If serendipity was a story, then you are about to watch one of the most fortunate strokes of luck ever here at WCCO.
A mysterious gem unearthed on accident, giving people a glimpse into Minneapolis history through the eyes of a young musical icon. While we all had a feeling who this young boy might be, we knew we needed help from those who knew him best. It's a journey and story you'll only see here on WCCO.
Deep in the WCCO film archives are...
You know what? That one takes too long. What it is, they discovered a footage of when there was a protest, and Prince was probably like around 11 years old, and they actually interviewed and asked him. He was one of the child out there with the teachers at his school and so forth, and they were making a protest about wages or something. And the point of the matter, they went and retrieved this information. So even since now, Prince was out there at 11 on a normal level, right? And at that time, he didn't get into his entertainment mode. So you're not seeing the hair done and all this other stuff that he did on an entertainment in an expressive way at that time. But Mike was already in that. So for the trauma and all kinds of things you went through, deprived of your childhood and all kinds of stuff, right? And then you have a problem with me doing good business. I've been in this since a child. I've been around so many, all of y'all, all the multi-billionaire, you know what I'm saying? This, why would I not be smart enough to learn this information? And that's what Mike proved. And learning that information became dangerous. So what I'm saying is now, if you had your own entity, own companies, we had our own outside of then we're not involved with their money. You're not a liability to their foolishness. You understand what I'm saying? Because you might be competing, so it might be a competitive thing. But if it's that, then they're going to have to get blatant and deal with it on a certain level. And now you can deal with it as competitors, as business competitors, versus, well, you're just a product on their shelf, a stamp, something that they can regurgitate and put out again. That's what music is. It captured your essence. It has you already in a bottle. So if I can regurgitate and put this out back while you're not even here, same reason why we have records and music and play this. Oh, this is classical. I love this song. Most of the artists and stuff, they're not here with us no more when we playing these songs. You know what I'm saying? I opened up with the footage of Major Hype doing a little Black Jesus, he up in heaven and all that. And he making little jokes like, yo, with Tupac and Bob Marley, and their music still being played right down here, influencing lives, inspiring. Right? So it's the narrative. We're just over an hour. I just realized that. And so I'm going to end up closing off in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Man in the mirror at Hammond Sophie. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Right? Because that's part of that goes even with the imaginary process too. Right? Because when you're looking in the mirror, it's like you have to get into your imagination and have that conversation while you're looking at yourself. You know, and so it's a skill and it's a practice. This is why boxers do shadow boxing and all that in mirrors, and there's a technique for it and a reason why, what it develops. Right? Your reflexes and all these different things. Let me go to this commercial. July 6th is coming up. It's already June. Okay? Go to this commercial. Then we'll come back with one little clip and close out for the morning. All right, bless the love. Thanks for everybody that was able to tune in last night to and show their love and support for the first time for the unification of Reasoning After Dark in New York City After Dark. You know what I'm saying? After Dark hours. You know what I'm saying? Also with the partnership with Talk of the Tongue Radio. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Mr. Michael Diablo Lutas. What's going on? Desmond Klein, Mr. Selector Percy. You know what I'm saying? The manager over there at Talk of the Tongue Radio. And I'm saying big shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's money that when you check in. I see you, bro. What's going on? What's going on? I got to set it up so you can come in for one of this live any morning time. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk, right? We got to give each other a link. But anyway, let me run this commercial and then I can get ready to close out. Blessed love, family. Blessed sunrise. So yeah, I see my camera already start sticking, so I ain't got time for these people to play with me. So listen, July 6th, just like that commercial, come out and check out that shindig. The address. Next time I do this, tomorrow I gotta make sure I keep like the flyer and stuff next to me so that I could remember to give y'all the address offhand. So if y'all like what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying, those who might be behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff, July 6th is a good time and a good place to come out because that's family and that's love. And then you'll be also coming out for a good cause and supporting and helping that radio station and assisting just by coming through having fun. You know what I'm saying? It's supporting a black business, an African descendant business. You understand what I'm saying? To forward and be even more progressive. You know what I'm saying? With what they're doing to bring knowledge and information and do their part out here. All right. So I was gonna go into another clip for Prince, but you know what happened? I just upload different things depending on my mood and where I'm gonna go into. Then I say, you know what? I'm gonna end with some health tips for the day. I'm gonna close out. Probably gonna play my little commercial thing after this, but this is my last video that I'm gonna play, but we're gonna end with health. This morning, health information, health narrative. This young man, I found him on the Instagram stuff, and I gotta get information about who some of these people are. Disclaimer, none of these footages and stuff, I have no copyrights ownership to it or none of that. It's being played for educational purposes only, and no monetary purpose gains is being benefit from it at no means at all. All right, let's go.
Only eat between the hours of 1 and 4. The rest of the hours of the day, only drink liquids. Caloric-free spring liquids that have minerals in it. If you get rid of the toxins, if you get rid of the pollutants, and if you detoxify the body by way of fruits, fruit juicing, drinking water, working out, sweating, getting in a sauna, getting in cold plunges, turning on your heat shock proteins, turning on your cold shock proteins, shivering is very good for detoxification. Getting on a rebound, jumping, jump roping, moving your lymphatic system, investing into an actual vibrational plate to move and shake your bone marrow, you'll start seeing that the defecation will increase, the urination will increase, the skin actually acting as a third kidney, filtering out metabolic waste will increase. You see that? Getting on these herbs that you need will increase. Lymphatic herbs. Chaparral is a blood herb. It cleanses the blood. Burdock root cleanses the blood. Yellow dock actually breaks up coagulation. You see what I'm saying? Start getting on things like that. Dandelion cleanses the actual liver. Hydrangea root breaks up calcification, breaks up not only calcites, but it breaks up liver and gallbladder stones and kidney stones. Start getting on these herbs. You see what I'm saying? Cleaver's leaf, move the lymphatic system. Plantain leaf, move and break down things that's in the lymphatic system. Start getting on these herbs, getting on your fruits. 21-day fast, only eat between 1 and 4. The rest of those hours drink nothing but water. Or drink juices that's high in water, like watermelon juice. And you will start seeing the defecation really happen. You'll start getting rid of all of these cellular toxicities, and you will get rid of all these broken down, degraded cells, and you will notice that your virus will go away. People that had this so-called HI, whatever you call it, they go get checked and know, I don't see it. Your numbers are so low. How many times you hear that, Nabi? The numbers are so low, we can't even read it no more. They start saying it's going, you're undetected. No, it just means it ain't there no more.
All right. I was there trying to put a comment, you know what I'm saying, for everybody before, giving y'all thanks and appreciation, for coming out. So I'm just typing. All right. So, but that's basically it for the day. Now, even if you don't know some of those herbs and so forth, maybe just that conversation might inspire you to be like, oh man, you know what happened? Let me do a little consciousness with it. Summertime coming up. Let me be a little bit more conscious. Yo, I Mr. Klein, I know what I'm saying when I saw you there. You know what I'm saying? All right. The legendary New York City DJ Red Alert from 107.5 WBLS is going to be on the ones and twos on Saturday, July 6, 2024. The retro shindig, 70s, 80s, toots and calm, grown and sexy affair. That's Mr. Desmond Klein in the comments, people. Please check it out. And let me tell you how blessed that comment is. The first record that I ever did, remember we're talking about major labels, right? I was about to bounce off. Let me give you this story right quick. Since we're talking about information and Desmond just introduced us with that information. DJ Red Alert, the culture in New York City. And that's what I'm saying. You got to create your own, right? This is why the pirate radio stations came about. This is how Talk of the Town radio came about. Because let's go into DJ Red Alert. DJ Red Alert was one of the guys that was responsible for at that time, and he's from Antigua, if I'm not mistaken. DJ Red Alert's from Antigua. And what it was, him and also Ralph McDaniels. Oh man, one day I have to do a whole segment, maybe a whole week on Ralph McDaniels. Listen, if I could have any guests on here for starts, it's Ralph McDaniels. When it comes to I ain't talking to nobody about hip hop on certain levels until I talk to Ralph McDaniels. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, DJ Red Alert. I ended up winning a audition. Some guys that were managing me at the time, and I'm gonna get to this story. No, they wanted to manage me at that time. Brought me to what they call a private industry audition. If you were not in the industry, you didn't know about it, you wouldn't know. Right? When I went to this place, I went inside there. Nobody would know the execs. At that time, Vivian Scott, the exec that signed Shabba Ranks to Epic Records is there. She signed Little Vicious. Little Vicious is also there. At one of the judges, Lady Patra. Patra's also there. She was also signed to Epic Records at that time. David Levy is there. He's affiliated with that. A few more other top-notch people. Even at that time, the NBA, the Knicks. See, we're talking about sports. Look how these things tie in. Anthony Mason, who's no longer with us. Bless his energy. Anthony Mason was in the building because the Knicks were in the playoffs or doing something, and they were playing. I think the Garden, Madison Square Garden, wasn't too far from around where we was at. We're next around where 34th Street somewhere, in a secluded, private location. And he was actually the person that knew what to expect before the judges even said anything, because there were maybe like 20 something performance at that event. And I was like I was the second to last person that came on the stage. There's only one more person after me. And I remember when I came on, and when I came off, Anthony Mason came through the crowd, and he had another one of his homies or somebody with him, maybe could have been a bodyguard or whatever. And he walks up to me, he's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It's very tall, and it's like, yo, man, you did your thing. Like, listen, you got it. If they don't give it to you, like something wrong, I'm gonna go talk to them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But give me a dap and everything and let me know, like, all right, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? So let's see. And that was the decision. And so I got on that audition was held because Epic Records was putting out, based on the history of DJ Red Alert, being one of the original DJs that was playing. Look at these people about to start to mess with me. I might have to come back into this or cut it off. DJ Red Alert used to play reggae music when he can and mix it in his hours. Like I said, he's from Antigua and he loved the culture. Ralph McDaniels is not from the Caribbean, but he endorsed and embraced the Caribbean culture, as far as I know. I don't know if he has a great aunt or great, whatever in his family or something like that, right? But he would also play a few of those reggae videos. You know what I'm saying? Shaba, Barrington Levy, you know what I'm saying? Cats that were able to have certain videos and stuff at that time. What's this guy from England? Maxi Priest and all that type of stuff, right? They would bring this essence. So Epic Records saw that Red Alert had created a lane within the Caribbean market by playing reggae music that he had a following, because he was doing that within his segment when he was on the radio. And so now that led to them offering him a contract to put out an album. Now it wouldn't be considered like an original album. It's more like a remix album. Shaba's on there, Cuddy Ranks, Patra, Vicious, but there's a lot of remix cuts and so forth on there. So what it was, they had, this is how the business goes. They had an opening slot, and that's what I auditioned for. I won the opening slot, went, recorded the song, did whatever. Now, just to talk, for example, like how Prince was elaborating about the business and certain stuff, this is how I missed that, right? So, and look how things are and how intricate the situations are. So these guys now, I had, I'm a street dude, so I'm like, yo, check it. You take me to the money, and then I'm gonna sign the contract, whatever it is, but I'm gonna get my lawyer or whatever. No, so they, matter of fact, I didn't say nothing about lawyer. I said I'm gonna sign the contract, whatever that. So they're like, I bet. They see my persona, know I'm serious, whatever, read my vibes. So, and that's how I've always been with all my managers. You see what I'm saying? I actually had one manager that decided she didn't want to work with me because I told her the same thing. And she was like, oh, you're disrespecting my profession and well, you're disrespecting my not trusting and all that stuff based on what goes on in this business. Understand what I'm saying? So now they brought me and I got this spot on the DJ Red Alert album that they're putting out on Epic Records. And I said, okay, cool. Y'all did your part. I see y'all serious, your business. They also took me to multiple other labels. At that time, there's another label that's putting out Flex, where Mad Cobra is on. That song Flex, and a couple other artists they did. There's things going on with the reggae at that time. They were interblending within the African American community that they're pushing into the mainstream, and they're getting, some dollars and some checks out of this thing, right? So, I'm like, okay, y'all did your job. So let me get the contract. I'm gonna go get a lawyer though. So I don't know if they thought I was serious or not, but I think they were serious and they were cool with that. And I'm gonna tell you what happened. So I went and this is some interesting stuff. Let me tell this story here. I might have told it again on Musical Reasoning, but let me say it on this platform. When I was in high school, I went to a high school called Bishop Loughlin. And there was a teacher in there by the name of Longobardi, Mr. Longobardi. And he had this down-to-earth personality where he used to be like, look, this Italian cat. And he would be like, look, listen, man, like I got money. And he was known as one of the only teachers coming to school driving a Jaguar at that time, the one with the emblem. At that time, those things were things. You know what I'm talking about? And, and known to be wearing these, expensive $1,000 Italian shoes or hundreds of, what I'm saying? Leather, soft leather and all this stuff. So he was like, listen, man, I don't necessarily have to be teaching. But what it is that, I love teaching. and I'm retired, but I don't want to stay home. So I'm back in here. And so he was in the kind of person, I guess, from the Italian perspective, them being mobsters, and it's because he was saying that's how his family was, and that's his affiliation, and even his name Longobardi is being affiliated with the Longobard, which is the currency out of Italy, and all that kind of stuff, right? So he's like, look, check it. If y'all got any issues with certain things, I'm here for you, man. Come talk to me. So he's talking to us as young, African descendant black males or individuals in his class, because there was no Caucasians in there. And so I said, all right, when this situation happened, I stepped to him and I said, listen, I got a situation going on with this record contract and stuff. And this is why what I'm saying, we need to utilize the opportunities and things that's in front of us. So regardless of who they are, where they from, I don't play none of that nonsense. So I said, listen, I got this situation going on, and you said X, Y, Z. So he said, lawyer? All right, cool. You need a lawyer? I got a lawyer. Let me make a contact and for you, and I'll give you a number. So he said, boom. Next day, I came to school. He gave me the number for a lawyer. I called the lawyer. Now, to probably solidify that he was probably 9 out of 10, right? Leave a little room for whatever, was really what he was saying. He gave me the number to his lawyer. And at that time, and you could check the time frame of when that album came out, which is, I think, in 1993, 1984, something like that, right? And when I called the lawyer and spoke to him and told him what my situation was, it was music and stuff, he was like, oh, all right, so you're looking for an entertainment lawyer. But by this time, my teacher already made the connection. Boom, 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 gave the number, so he's expecting the call. So he goes, oh, you're looking for an entertainment lawyer. He said, well, listen, I'm actually kind of caught up and busy in court right now with John Gotti, but I have a friend that's a very good intern. Let me make another call, and I'll call you back, and I'll give you another link. Boom. I said, okay, fine. Got off the phone like, what? All right. He calls me back the next day or maybe even the same day, whatever. Can't remember exactly. And gave me the phone number to this lawyer. I don't know if he still practices law, but I'm going to just say it anyway. His name is Howard Siegel. And Siegel or Spiegel? I think it's Spiegel, right? So pardon me if I'm messing up your name. And this lawyer now, this is what I'm saying. This is even the situations, even as kids, children, getting into business, young teenagers, whatever. And we just into the music and the things that can happen when we're not educated enough. I went by myself. I got this contract when I was get into this situation when I was a senior in high school, still a teenager, didn't graduate out yet. And so the lawyer now that I'm hooked up with, hey, blessing and Nancy, I see you check in there. The lawyer that I got hooked up with, he's like, I'm on Park Avenue. I went by myself. My mom's now, but my mom's gave me some of the bread because he did negotiate and worked out with me a down payment because I didn't even know what Park Avenue really was and meant. It's later on in life I understood. I just kind of remembered it from being on the board on the Monopoly Park Avenue. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's one of the green pieces, right? I could be mistaken. But so I'm going on Park Avenue. I goes up to the lawyer office, whatever, they send me up, whatever, boom. When I goes into his office, it's the first time I see what is known as platinum plaques, meaning the color is not gold. There's some gold ones too, but they're more platinum, meaning they're silver. You understand what I'm saying? Looking like platinum. Today we're up on that. That means that's 1 million sold. Gold means 500,000 in those times, right? So, and he has a few. And when I'm looking at the name of it, it's saying Aerosmith and so forth. So I'm like, okay. And so this lawyer now tells me, you know what I'm saying? I went there for the contract. So I'm here like, boom, I got this managerial contract. She's like, cool. So he dealing with the contract. She's like, so what else you got going on, Delroy? Besides this contract. So I'm like, well, I just did this song, you know what I'm saying, for Epic Records and stuff like that. So I'm just waiting for that to, pull through and whatever, and et cetera, other things. So he's like, yeah, oh, did you get clearance or this or whatever, boom, 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 in terms of economics and snap with? I'm like, no, I didn't. So he said, I'd get on it for that. What is it? He took the information, DJ Red Alert, boom, 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 and got in contact with that company. And he was also working part of a big law firm on Park Avenue. So He called me maybe the next day or 2 days after. It wasn't long after. And he said, Delroy, hey. He said, listen, I've got some news for you. You know, it's good or it's bad, depending on how you take it. So he said, listen, these guys that you're about to sign this management contract with, they went into Epic and stuff, and they signed as a power of attorney and so forth, or whatever it was, allegedly. Let me say that because I don't want nobody come suing me. And signed and got your money, your residuals, or whatever was, you know, owed to you from that, saying that they had the power to do that. And so he's like, I'm like, what? No. So you have knowledge of that? No. So he goes, okay, well, check this out. It's one or two options, because I would not have been privy necessarily to certain information, but he went to school, classmate with the lawyer that is in charge for the DJ Red Alert project. And he said, so here's what's going to happen. If you're going to try to get back your money and certain stuff, obviously you're not going to sign this contract or whatever, because these guys are not doing good business. They're going to want to sue. You don't want that money, and you're going to have to sue them. And they're going to want to counter sue the record company. So my lawyer, the lawyer over there already said, once that ever happens, they're going to take that song from off the album. So do you want to still let it be released? And maybe you could talk to them, deal with them on a certain level. And if nothing else, but you just let that slide and you use it for promotional purposes only. And that's the decision I made. I cut them off. I never signed no contract with them, but I let it went on the album. So today I can still reference that as one, because I also did some other stuff for Hush Records at that time. And then if you later find out all the controversy that went on with Hush Records, for those who know the industry of things, right? So look how easily you get caught up in stuff. So if my lawyer was not friends of this lawyer, then this and that, then what would happen in which you would have been and signed this contract? Now, you see what I'm saying? So you could be intelligent about certain things. This is why even when even another narrative, another perspective, I'm about to close out right about now, soon. That's when even when you have a lawyer, let's say in a criminal case, you don't think they're going to school? They have certain relations, and there's an underground tunnel of how they're communicating. But you could be getting buried and don't even know you're getting buried by something. They done worked it out. How they gonna sell you out to this and that and do whatever they got to do, and they still getting paid. Right? So the narrative. Anyway, family, that's my time. Blessed love. You know what I'm saying? Give thanks to life. Thanks to everybody that came out. You know what I'm saying? Give thanks to everybody that's in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Miss Sophie, Nancy, give thanks to everybody that show up here today. Leeward Hamilton, we're going on, Biggs. I see you there, Pony check-in. You understand? One Press, Quincy Roberts. You know what I'm saying? It's my brother, right? That's all. You know what I'm saying? Yo, everybody on the check-in. If the Queen still in, hey, Face Simon Perry. You know what I'm saying? My love, blessed love, Classy B, my baby. Right? I hope that you have a nice and decent day walking all them kind of things. So you know what I mean, Mr. Desmond Klein, thanks for that information. So everybody, July the 6th, I'm gonna play that commercial one more time, the short version of it. Be prepared, July 6th. Y'all want to come and kick it? I'm gonna be in the building. You like what I'm doing? You want to come and see me in person and be like, yo, because you don't like leaving comments, you want to come shake my hand, take a drink with me. You understand what I'm saying? Take a little bun with me. If it's this your thing, then we, you know what I'm saying, come out on July 6th. And let's get into this thing, this shindig. You understand? Retro style too. You could go into character. Or if you're one ever is a rebel like me, if you feel, you know, come, just bring your presence and your love. We ain't going to turn you away. You understand? Yeah, don't forget, get more information, call Mr. Michael Diablo Lutis or Mr. Desmond Klein. Select the persons you see right there. DJ Red Alert will be at the July 6th event of the Shindig. You don't know that's a legendary DJ. He knows all the categories of music, especially in that certain time frame. He gonna put you in a zone, understand me? But I'm out, I'm checking out, you know what I'm saying? My lad, yeah, I understand. See ya. Yes, you know what I'm saying? But I'm checking out, and you know, blessed love family, safe guidance to y'all going out and coming in. And if all is well, give thanks to life, then we can see each other new day on the forward, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know what is the plans that brother Nancy have if I'm going to be doing anything tonight again, but if it's so, I'm sure y'all going to know. Tune in. It should be should get a notification on Talk of the Tone Radio and then other platforms that you're following me and so forth. If we're going to come back tonight and chop it up, you know what I'm saying, and do it. It was a nice little vibe last night. I like it. Y'all let me know what's going on, man. How y'all feeling? Give me some feedback. You know what I'm saying? All right. Blessed love and guidance. All right. Let me go. This is the Royal Rock. Is the one and only Shaka Double. Don't forget to tune into Reasoning Uncensored, 8 to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday on all social media platforms. All of them. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. I'm a baby in the stroller. In due time, I get to know ya. As we talking, the baby grow up, out the diaper, out the pull up. I have lasso, run out wheelbarrow. Here today, don't know tomorrow. Subscribe, like and follow. We deep, we ain't shallow. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter.